one. Hey, everybody, we just got done reviewing Sinners, so go check out that video. Music played a pretty big part in that movie. So I have a little list of for us. It's the top 10. Get out of the way. 10 songs
Movies.
immediately associated with movies. So see if you guys agree or can think of better ones. So 1,000 Miles, White Chicks. I've never seen White Chicks, so I don't know.
You haven't?
I don't remember White Chicks. I've
I
seen
do
it a
like when
long
Terry
time ago.
Crews goes.
Is that way? That's which.
That's what the Wayne Brothers.
I was confusing the I walked and I was like, that's not that song.
When I first saw that.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the name of that song. Interesting.
What do you think it was? K Jewelry?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Relax.
I've never seen Zoolander.
I never think about that song with that movie though.
Never seen
I
it.
know. Kind of.
I always think of Wham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kiss Me. I guess. I only saw the trailer.
Never seen that movie. We're doing
that movie.
bad on our song movies.
Eye of the Tiger,
obviously.
of course.
Yeah, like you
That's
don't
the
hear
wrong
that song.
But that's the wrong Rocky.
Yeah, weird. Why do
That's
they?
Rocky 3, but that's from Rocky 1 right there.
Oh, the picture, yeah. Donka Shane from I kind of think
I've never seen that movie.
I don't think I ever finished this movie.
Really?
I watched it with Ben, but we either fell asleep or just turned it off. I can't remember.
Have you seen this part?
I don't remember.
Who's at the parade?
Yeah. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. I don't think I don't equate that song with that movie, but
really?
Yeah, no. I feel like that song was way too big for that movie.
It's either this one or Foxy Lady. Where he's in the
I just think of Stairway to Heaven because I denied.
Hey, can you read?
Oh, movies of that time.
Dust in the Wind, old school.
Never seen it.
I don't remember.
I don't associate with that movie.
I don't associate it with that movie.
Yeah.
I associate it with Michael's alarm.
My alarm for years.
All by myself, Bridget Jones' Diary.
I've never heard of that movie.
Kind of figured.
These are the top movie songs. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
This
movie kind of made that one popular.
I've only seen that movie once, and I don't remember liking that movie. I'm one of the weirdos.
What?
Yeah.
A single time?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I was like, I'm not a fan. It was a long time ago, though.
Dueling Banjos, of course. Deliverance.
Never seen it.
Joseph, this is a terrible list.
It is a pretty
It
bad
gave us
list.
nothing, man.
Blame Collider, not me. What would you guys put on the
You
list?
have failed us.
Stuck in the Middle with You from Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
Goodbye Horses and Silence of the Lambs.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
Pulp Fictions.
The Rubber Band Man in Endgame Part 1.
No, that's a lie.
I was gonna say the Hookah Chaka Hookah in Guardians Galaxy.
What's funny is that I associate that with Reservoir Dogs because that was in that soundtrack too. It's like
Green Onions, The Sandlot.
That's another movie I've only seen once.
Yep, same. And I didn't like it.
Tequila. Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman.
Never seen that either.
No.
Isn't it in the Sandlot too?
It is in the Sandlot too.
I associate that song with the Ninja Turtles movie, live action one. So coming in with
that's true.
Tequila, and then hand out the pizzas.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Great movie.
A ton of Christmas movies. Pennies from Heaven and Elf.
No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I almost said Tears in Heaven, but that's the wrong.
I also don't know song names, so I'm always like
Christmas movie.
God.
All right.
I don't think of anything else I'm associating it with. Like, I don't know. Reservoir Dogs is kind of like my thing.
What about Rage in The Matrix 1 when it ends?
God, I know that song too.
All right. So we also did musical stuff this time. It was our time to update the playlist.
Musical stuff.
So Jared, you got to go You got the number 1 slot this time, the opener.
I did it.
He always goes first.
No, what? It's always you. He lies. From Indie Lake is a band, like an indie band that's been around for a while. There's one album of theirs that I really like, and then what was it, last week? This song came out with Chadwick, and I gave it a shot, and I really liked it, so I put it on the list.
And it got to number 1.
Little Chad Man remix.
Michael Stray?
Yeah, so I've been trying to do more recent songs, but the recent songs recently have not been hitting for me. I'm just like, they're fine, but I haven't had anything that's like got me going. But this one was an old Instagram find that I like. I find the guitar in this very nostalgic. I don't know why. Like I hear it, and I'm like, that just hits a spot that's right. But yeah, I don't have much to say about this guy. Just some Instagram dude I found, likes music.
Real fast, we on the anime podcast, we've been watching Wolf's Rain, and if you remember that the opening is Stray. I don't know if this is the same song. I didn't listen to the playlist, so I'm very confused.
Thomas's turn.
Speaking of Instagram, this is where I found these guys. Midnight Generation, this Mexican like techno band, and I really enjoy them. They're kind of fun. Kind of a they got the voice alternator thing like from Daft Punk, and so it's a lot of fun. So, and their little videos that they put out are kind of goofy. So.
Now, speaking of Daft Punk and Mexican bands, Nuna Far was my pick from Polo and Pan, 2 French DJs who they're not Daft Punk, but they got the similar disco type style to their music. And I Am Yoni, that's a Mexican girl band. And I liked it. It's very disco. So back to Thomas.
That's weird. Ain't No Sunshine. Probably one of the best songs ever written. I got romantically not in a good spot this past week, so I was listening to a lot of Bill Withers. So
who doesn't when that happens?
I know, right? And he's like sitting there with like a cigarette, like, God damn. So.
Well, it's very short. How long? 2 minutes. It's got to be one of the best short songs.
Wow, that is really short. Good Lord.
Yeah.
And like half the song is the repeat
I know.
version.
The thing is, though, you feel all of those I knows. You feel them.
So.
Where do you feel them?
Firebird, Common Saints. This song and this band sounds very 70s, like a Eagles type song. So it was very, very classic sounding. So that's why I picked them.
This was another Instagram. This one actually is a recent song, but it was one that came up on Instagram. I was like, that song sounds awesome. I go in it. The band doesn't have a freaking album. All they have is singles, and that makes me sad. So they need to come up with an album. I think it was.
There's
them.
a lot of bands like that nowadays.
I know. They blow up fast with singles. I'm like, I like albums.
Yeah.
I'm an album guy, but I thought the song was very fun. I enjoyed the song a lot. So I threw it on there as a recent one that I got.
And then Jared.
This was a recommendation not from Instagram or Spotify, but YouTube. They just said, watch this music video. And I was like, okay. And so I did, and I really liked it. It was a good video. I always like the videos that are just like bands in like a studio or like just a warehouse playing music. So this was really cool.
Get back to Michael.
I couldn't remember if I had put one of this band's songs on before, but I did it anyway because this song is just epic and awesome, and I really like the song. I don't know how to say their name. It's like Vukovi or something like that. Maybe that's right. I don't know. But yeah, they were one of the ones that it's one of those trains you go on of like related artists to related artists, related artists, related artists. And then I was like, that's a weird name. Click on it. I like it. This song is just awesome.
Back to Jared.
Speaking of bands that just have EPs and singles, Flux came. I found them out last year, and I think I put them on one of the first lists. But I love this band. I hope they make an album. They remind me of the '90s, just straight rock. It's awesome.
Pretty good. Then it was my turn, Coyote by Mount Joy. Here we go again. So this song was very cool. I liked it. It's very like desert rock, pop rock type of song. And then I go and listen to all their other stuff. It's all that indie folk stuff I hate. So it's like
You
I
get
got
one,
good
Joseph.
song. Yeah, you get one good song. All right, Thomas.
Fire Walk with Me. Kind of a tribute to David Lynch from the Black Keys. I love this song. This is kind of one. It's kind of like the Lonely Boy, like kind of feel. You just want to move. So I really like this one.
All right, so that is the playlist for this time. Go check it out on Spotify, the Good Stuff playlist.
We have 11
So-
of those now.
We have 11.
We're almost out of year.
So I want to issue a challenge, and you don't have to accept it.
Challenge.
You don't have to accept it, but we are doing one next month because that's what we do every month. So we've all listened to some Nickelback. And I think we should all pick one Nickelback
We
song.
can't have a whole Nickelback playlist.
On the playlist?
No.
They don't have that many good
Let's go.
songs.
Because we all get 3 songs, and we have to have one as a Nickelback song. Joseph, you can use any of the ones that you've listened to. You don't have to actively go out and listen to more Nickelback. But since Jared, and Michael have listened to more Nickelback,
They're all going to be from Dark Horse because it's their best album.
I
Sonic
wasn't
stripper
think-
music.
I wasn't even thinking. Shut Sonic. I wasn't even thinking of one from Dark Horse, but
Oh,
I'm just saying.
it's an upsetting suggestion.
I was watching Michael talk about Nickelback again because it
It
just
is
came
hilarious.
on and it was fun.
So upsetting.
I'm just saying, if you have it in you, try to pick one Nickelback song that you would submit.
Now that you do bring this up, I was a little Imagine Dragons.
Did you go through them again?
No. A little Imagine Dragons popped up in my playlist this week, and I'm like, Jared, you've gone through all this other crap. Like Imagine Dragons would be a relief. It'd be a breath of fresh air for
That
you now.
should tell you something about Imagine Dragons.
But like when you actually listen, because you're going to do it someday, you're going to listen to them someday, and then you're going to be like, oh wow, they're pop stuff. Maybe not for me, but there's some good stuff in here, and you're going to like.
Is it not all pop?
They are very varied as a band. Like there are some songs I'm like, it still sounds like him singing and stuff, but like tone and like pace, like how everything, very, very different style throughout their stuff. But
They got sugar pop and indie pop and
mellow lemon pop.
yeah,
All right.
K-pop.
Aaron, close your eyes for a second. I forgot to put it in slideshow. You two out there. Okay. No,
Are we
didn't
good?
work. It didn't work. Okay, you're good. Okay.
Ah,
A little
that's
bit of
bright.
news.
Oh,
Little bit of news.
the Pope died.
Golden Lady or Silver Lady.
Silver Lady. So, Fantastic Four trailer came out showing the Silver Surfer, and everyone had the same thought. Why does the 2007 Silver Surfer look better than the
Better.
2025 Silver Surfer? I mean, look at her. She looks creepy. And she's got that
Dude.
weird smile.
It's the hair. Like, why? Just make her bald.
And she got like no muscle definition. I don't know.
Maybe they just didn't put the texture they needed to on in the trailer, and they're gonna fix that in post.
But you look at like the 2007 Silver Surfer, and he's like completely comic book accurate. Say what you will about that movie; it's a terrible movie, but
Yeah, it was
That's
better
not-
than the first.
okay, and also better than Fan Four Stick. So, which is saying a lot there. But Silver Surfer looks amazing in that.
He does.
So,
they should have just used him. Just get Lawrence Fishburne
well,
back.
the reason why I think they're doing it is because they have the alternate universe. This is the alternate universe is that they're in. So
Yeah.
maybe they're saving the other Silver Surfer for the main
Yeah.
timeline. Is
That-
the only thing I can think of.
That makes sense, but why does she look so bad? Like,
She looks horrible.
try a
though.
little harder, Marvel. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
No, I
She
heard
looks
the
like a little toy.
2007 one has a lot of practical effects to it. It's not just CG. It's because it's Doug Jones playing him. So
Metal Mario from Mario 64 looks better, Joe.
I know.
So
Looks
you got like
bad.
Silver Surfer on the right, and then you got Stainless Steel Surfer on the left over here.
Stainless
So
steel. It's like chrome coated
Yeah.
surfer.
chrome spray, like what is it? The shining chrome. The guys from Mad Max.
This was weird. Netflix edited the Passion of the Christ because it was because of Easter weekend, right? So everyone's watching. They took out the very beginning, which is a passage from Isaiah, which is basically just a prophecy about, it pretty much tells the coming of Jesus and what's going to happen. For some reason, Netflix took that out, and no one knows why. I bet if you ask them public, they would probably, we cut it for time. Or
Did they not want to give away about what was going to happen?
Spoilers, guys. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
God, I haven't seen that movie forever.
Yeah, it's not one you revisit.
Yeah, I've only seen it once, but I'm like,
I thought Mel Gibson was George Lopez for a second when I saw that picture.
I saw it in theaters like
I
when
did
it first
too.
came out, and I was just like, I'm good. I really don't want to watch it again.
I think I
get it.
have seen it
I cut-
twice.
I kind of get the whole like he suffered for us. I think I'm good now.
why do his hands look so small?
Maybe they are.
Baby hands.
The sequel coming out pretty soon, right?
They're making a sequel?
He's
they're
coming
making a
back.
He came. He comes back.
Well, the second part hasn't happened yet.
No,
Spoilers.
there's like a couple of chapters of him when he's back, but basically he just like talks to the guys and they go fishing again. And I don't know what kind of movie that makes, but
Perfect
unless
catch
it's
or whatever.
Unless it's about the apostles, and when like Mel Gibson wants to like depict them dying horribly.
oh yeah, that's true. They all got martyred.
Thomas died in Japan, I think. So I forgot where he died.
So this guy is Matt Reeves, and he directed the Batman.
Hi,
That's
Matt.
what he looks like.
Hi, Matt. So they might have to replace him because they're like ready to shoot this movie, but he's been dealing with some stuff that nobody knows about. So they might have to replace him if it goes too long.
Does that look like a fake scarf or like something else that was used as a scarf? that he's
Yeah,
wearing?
it looks like a curtain that
Yeah,
was
it doesn't
cut.
look long enough.
Or some
He's like, I need a
pants.
scarf. Someone gave me a hickey. I gotta hide it.
Batman, you dog.
Toy Story 5 is gonna focus on Jesse, so prepare to cry your eyes out because
What else do they have? Why?
Yeah,
Why
so-
focus on Jesse?
Hasn't
We
she
already know
had her
Jesse's
arc?
backstory.
Call Sarah
Yeah.
McLaughlin, hurry.
it's just Sarah McLaughlin songs the whole time.
Just the dog line.
Neglected dog.
What if it's just Randy Newman covering a Sarah McLaughlin song?
Oh man, how are they gonna make her story sadder?
I don't know.
The child
like,
died.
Like Jared said, she's already had her arc.
In one song, Kathleen Kennedy says she is never leaving, man. So we
Oh
Heard
boy.
We
earlier.
celebrated too soon.
celebrated a little too soon. Said she was gonna retire, but now she's like, I'm never getting out of here. She's stuck with it. So,
You just have Dave Filoni in the back. She's just like, just say the word, guys.
Can we have our Star Wars back?
not yet. So Star Wars Celebration happened in Japan. One of the things announced was Star Wars Starfighter, which is Sean Levy's movie with Ryan Gosling. Takes place after the sequels. So
Oh.
The sequel
I'm okay.
sequels.
yeah, I'm okay with it. I like this. I like the spaceship part of Star Wars. I hope it's not an X-wing because by then the X-wings would be really old. I hope they kind of make a new ship.
The
and
Naboo Starfighter.
They should just make him like a Han Solo type where he just has an old X-wing from like his ancestors and he like rebuilt it and flies it somewhere. Gets into trouble.
I hope it's like a guy who's flying like a prototype ship or something like that. That would be
Big
kinda
sign,
cool.
just a ship. Yeah, like it's just a fighter.
Ship to
story.
ship battles. Yeah,
Just a little. He's a taxi. They should make a Star Wars taxi movie where he's just taking people around planets.
That would be a great anime, just Star Wars taxi.
Star Wars text, Star Wars Uber.
Why is he wearing boots without pants? Why are his little
This
knees
was-
showing?
Pedro Pascal or some shorties to the celebration. It was some weird boots.
Oh, then there's
That's
a
all I
little
wanted to
demon
say.
himself, Grogu.
And we did get a trailer for that. We didn't get to see it, but it leaked online. It looks all right. It looks like Mandalorian, the show.
It's
So
not
we
all
gotta-
about what's her name.
We got to talk
season 3.
about The Last of Us.
The last
second
of
week,
us.
so-
Pew.
Because this one, a lot went down this time. So,
I was
Thomas,
wrong.
I don't think you care. You were- a lot
I
of
was
people were
completely wrong.
a lot of people were wrong.
I've seen the
Um,
scene because it's leaked everywhere online, or not leaked, but it's like everywhere. And well, you guys can discuss it and I'll bring it up. I'm just like, that looks terrible, but go ahead.
So it starts out with the Abby again having a flashback or a dream, a nightmare, I guess. I thought it was a pretty cool scene where she's like, she discovers her dad's dead, right? I thought that was
Very
pretty
anime
good.
in your own head kind of scene.
Yeah,
The
talking to
actress-
herself.
The
Yeah.
actress did a real good job in this episode. I thought she had a
Mhm.
lot of good parts.
I like
And then-
following Abby. She's good
Yeah,
at this.
exactly.
She's character accurate to what the game was like. Whereas Ellie is still
Uh,
5 years ago for some reason. But anyway,
Yeah, Ellie, we get more of
She don't
her.
age, Michael. That lady can't age.
she can mentally age as a character.
So we get, more Ellie whining. She doesn't want to wake up. And the guy goes, is that guy from Karate Kid? Is he the bully?
No,
Oh.
that's
He's
not
from
guy.
some. Yeah, that's not him. I've seen that guy somewhere. But yeah, he comes, wakes her up, tells her to go on patrol.
Speaking of not aging, I don't want to wake up. You gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go to school.
I got drunk and made
you.
out. Sorry, Ellie.
And then they go to this meeting where Joel's brother is giving a speech about how to stay safe. And the little girl's like, run into the forest. And they're like, yeah.
And he's like, "You're stupid.
Get her out of here.
Demoted. Go weeds.
Abby and her Firefly friends are in this cabin, really nice cabin. But it's freezing because they don't got no heat. They just got a fire. And she goes out on patrol and she's like freezing to death out there. They're looking for Joel, right? And luckily she sees him. She's like, oh. Before that, they asked her, like, what's the plan? And she's like, because they're like, well, it's a freaking city with walls. And they're like, how are we going to get in there? We don't know how. They have dogs. We didn't know they had dogs. I don't know how they saw the dogs. They're all in the cages, but somehow they saw dogs. So they don't really have a plan. And she goes out on patrol and they ask the guy, oh man. They don't have a plan. They're making a plan. He's like, the plan is to talk her out of this. Because he's like worried
She's
about her.
gone crazy.
Yeah. She's on the mountain. She sees some people. She can't quite see them. She probably, if she had a sniper rifle, man, this episode would be done real quick, but she didn't have a sniper rifle. So she's got to kind of go down the mountain to find out who that was. Meanwhile, Ellie's with the guy. I don't remember his name. What's his name?
Jesse.
Jesse. Okay.
Jesse Pinkman.
She's with him. They're doing their patrols. A big old storm breaks out. And they're like, okay, let's go to the 7-Eleven. That's also a pot house. So they go in there. Meanwhile, Abby's falling down the mountain. She goes real fast down one part of the mountain. So, whee! And she's like sees all these dead things, and then they're like, oh, they're not dead things. They're like the fungus guys, and they all start like rising up out of the snow. And she's like,
I
what
guess
the-"
they were just napping because, like,
Yeah, I think they were napping.
'cause it wasn't like a cold issue because it didn't get any more warm. So it's just
Well,
like,
they slightly said in the beginning that the like theory of why they were all under the dead ones is because they were insulating themselves so they wouldn't
yeah.
freeze to death or freeze to unaliveness. I don't know
Yeah,
what a
they're already
zombie
dead.
goes to. Yeah,
They're
it's like
already-
what happens. I don't know, but
Just frozen.
the fun guy don't die, I guess. A fun guy never dies. Okay, so they start waking up and they're like chasing her, and she's all outrunning them somehow. And she gets all the way to the town, right? And she gets into this walled area, and there's a real cool part where she's like they're like attacking the fence, and they're like the fence is coming down on her, and she's like crawling across it. That was a real cool part. Um, and she gets in there, and then she's about to get attacked, and Joel saves her. He's like,
He doesn't get
"Yeah."
to the town. It's like a little.
Yeah, it's like
I
it's,
don't
it's
know
one of
what
the
it
side
is.
little places, like where
Side
Ellie and them went
place.
last time, somewhere around there.
Joel comes, saves her. Dina's there too. They get on the horses, and they're like, "Where do we go? We gotta go back to town." And she's like,
I got a
"No."
cabin.
Yeah, she's like, "My friends are up in the cabin. They got ammo. They got all the good stuff. We need to go over there." And Joel's like, "Okay, let's go over there." They do. Meanwhile, back at the town, back at Jackson Hole, the zombies have arrived, and it's like a full scale war. It's like freaking two towers, and they're attacking the walls, and they got barrels of oil they're flinging at the zombies, and I don't, I don't really understand how it didn't catch them on fire, but it doesn't. It works.
Do you think it smells good when they burn? Because it's like mushrooms.
Like scented,
maybe.
scented
Sunday
zombies.
mushrooms.
It's like, it smells
Put
like
some
mushroom
salt
coffee.
down there.
So this big old war breaks out on the wall, and they gotta, protect the wall. And then this real big one, remember the real big one? He comes and breaks down the wall, and now they're all shooting from rooftops.
Speaking of two towers, I thought for a moment he was going to go and because there were some in the game that blow up. I was like, are we really going to do the two towers scene for a second? But that didn't happen because I thought it was going
That would
to
have been awesome.
Some guys with the horn going.
So they're fighting these things, mostly focused on Joel's brother and his communist wife, and they're fighting.
One line I did like from the last season. No, we're not communists. We live in a commune, dear. Just that part of him, just like that Texan part of him, just kind of dies inside.
Yeah.
Just like
So they fight that battle. Meanwhile, Joel gets up to the cabin with Abby, and they're warming up. They're like, "Yeah, help her out, warm her up too." And then she's like, "So this is Dina, and this is Joel," and they all jump. And they're like, they put a gun to Dina's head, and they tell Joel to like back up, and they put Dina to sleep, so she doesn't have to watch because they don't really want to kill anyone else. They just want to kill Joel. And then the big scene that probably everyone's already seen by now happens where Abby kind of tortures Joel, hits him with a golf club, punches him. She's so small, I don't know if the punches would hurt that bad.
That's why they were there for like hours. And they were like, dude, just end this.
Give her some
I'm
knuckles.
bored, Abby.
Give her
That's
some
why-
brass knuckles or
that's
something.
why she had to pick up the golf club. It's like, oh, thank God.
But even that breaks. That I actually respected that because I was like, that would just break. Golf clubs are pretty brittle, and it does break. And finally, Ellie and Jesse get there. Oh no, Jesse's not there. I forgot where he went back to town.
Yeah, he's behind her. Why is he behind her?
he arrives after
Late,
her, like when it's
yeah.
all done. I don't know why they got separated though.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Because
Ellie gets there and she hears all this like screaming and punching, and she goes in and it's Joel, and she's like, ah! And they tackle Ellie. The girl tackles her to the ground, and then they're like, finish this, we're bored. And she does, and she finishes it, and Ellie screams and is like, I'm gonna kill you. And then they kick Ellie and they leave, and that's pretty much the
I
end
thought
of it.
Ellie took a big 6-foot man, 200 pounds, but she can't take
can't
this
take that
smaller
little
dude.
Bald lady.
They're military, like Joel said.
Oh man, we gotta talk a lot about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Ends with Ellie kind of crying on top of Joel because he's dead. So this was the big episode, and I thought it was good. It just makes me not want the future of the show, but because like a lot of people expected that they would draw this out. Some people even thought this would be probably the last episode of the season because there's supposed to be a whole nother season. But yeah, so this was the part that that was controversial in the games, and everyone talked about it when it happened in the game. So it happened here.
Hey, it's 2020 again. Yay.
Michael,
Oh no.
how faithful was it to what happened in the game?
Not very.
Okay.
The Abby and Joel, very, very faithful. That was very accurate. Like her.
She used an iron instead of a wood.
Yeah, I mean, get your clubs right. I agree
That's
with you.
not a putter.
I think the episode was good, but just good. Like it has a lot of issues, in my opinion. It kind of sits exactly where the first one sat with me, which is disappointing because of what this is to me. Firstly, the entire fight with Jackson, throw it out. Utterly useless, pointless, get rid of it. In the game, Tommy is with Joel when this happens. They save Abby. That whole fence scene is pulled straight out of the game. That whole zombie chase of hers and everything. There is no zombie massive horde that goes down to the town. Forget all that. They basically save her, get her up there, and she tells about the cabin. They don't know who she is yet. Tommy's the one's like, hey, I'm Tommy, and this is my brother Joel. That's when everything starts. Oh crap, everything's going down. Yeah, it's like freak out. Alex and I are talking about this because we were talking about how we're like, how are they? Because I said last time that I was like, oh, maybe because that line that now seems pointless is where they were talking to Joel in the first episode of, well, we've got to take everyone in as refugees because blah 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 blah. I was like, oh, well, maybe Abby and her people are going to go there, and that's how we're going to draw this season out, and that, like I said, I thought the end was going to be Joel dying in the end of the season. None of that happened. So introducing Abby and showing who she is prematurely, I think, ruins a lot of the tension of what the game brought. There's so much mystery in the game, and the purpose of the game in the beginning is to make you hate this group of people completely. You don't have any backstory, any reason. You don't know why they're doing what they're. You just hate them, and that's the point. Is for you to Ellie, like you said, she's like, I'm going to kill all of you. That's her goal now. That's the end of the rest of the season. And so now, yeah, in my mind, this is definitely going to end exactly middle of the game is where the season's going to end. Is that a hand raise?
Real fast.
I thought you were stretching or something.
Real fast.
Too
Have
far.
you've never seen like playthroughs of the game or the story of the games, right?
Who, me?
Or do you know the story?
You talking to Joseph?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like,
Oh, I know. I know this. I saw the Critical Drinkers video on this, so I know kind of the story.
get the gist and main beats and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't.
That's a
do you
pretty
feel like
comprehensive video.
do you feel like Ellie and Joel have a strong connection? Just if you're just going off the show, like, do
Not
you
in
feel
this
like,
season.
Yeah, not this season.
or
for sure,
even
but-
the last season. It just doesn't feel like enough time for me. Like,
Yeah,
they didn't.
it kind of grew in the last season towards the end, but it started rough. I mean,
Yeah.
I
They
don't.
had that
I
one
don't-
episode at the very end where they have a conversation. I was like, oh, that's a pretty good conversation. But
Yeah,
for the rest of it, like, I feel like they're still strangers right at this point.
there's
so.
never a part where I felt like he's her dad, like her adopted
Yeah.
dad.
Just going off the show, not the games. It's just like it doesn't feel like enough time between them has happened
Mm.
for me to care.
Also,
about him
Ellie looks the
dying.
exact same age as she did in the last show.
Yeah.
So
I don't know why they didn't, because Ellie in the second game has like cropped hair to here, and she has it back in like a little knot ponytail like that. Like, I was curious why they didn't do that, but because it would have helped at least change visually what she looked like, give it a little bit of a time difference. But anyway,
well, also, Abby looked like she ate protein in the second game. This looks like
I don't mind they did that because it's like to put her against Bella Ramsey, which they're going to have to do. Like that would just be weird if some giant muscly woman is.
is this
Abby
five,
was
two,
the
child
is this
girl.
2 5-foot women like slapping each other?
Abby was the personification of protein in the game.
She's what I dreamed to be, man.
Makes you
But-
question, like, it's the apocalypse. Where did you get the whey
Yeah,
protein at?
Yeah, they're like, I saw a video.
You
like,
hoarding,
where
Abby?
Where did she get the HGH?
Yeah, so I think definitely that's kind of annoys me. I don't know if that would be an executive decision, the Battle of Jackson, because it's like that just looked like Game of Thrones is what it looked like. It looked like
It did,
we're
yeah.
doing a siege of a wall and stuff like that. I'm like, what are we?
The undead in the winter? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and the whole point, like, The Last of Us isn't this multi-kingdom focusing on the world thing. It is literally just focusing on these two right now, individual Joel and Ellie is the point of it. And so like, I feel like there's so much weight lost in the end of this episode because there isn't this buildup of just like them two. Like that whole episode should have been them two. It should have been Joel and Tommy talking about Ellie, and she's with Dina, I think at this point, because I think they go to the 7-Eleven with the weed. Yeah. So it's them two there. And it's either that or that's after. It's been a while. But yeah, there's
Or maybe a scene where like he gives her the guitar back or something like that.
Yeah, I can't believe that didn't happen.
And they have like a moment and then it happens.
Because it was just like there.
World War Z and then he dies.
Yeah, because that's literally in the game where she's I can't remember if he's playing it and she goes in, but it's like, yeah. So I feel like there's so much weight loss of trying to take this big scope action scene where I'm like, that's not the point of Last of Us. Last of Us is the point of these main characters. And so
this I'm going to ask this one. I haven't seen the first episode because again, I'm not really interested in the series anymore. But just people that I've heard of already, pacing seems to be a really big issue already in these first 2 episodes. Was that something like spacing out the events because they're not seeming to like to put them in like one just the right order, but also just like significant like emotionally wise? Because now we're just like, well, okay, now we understand why Abby hates Joel, and which brings no tension to then Ellie hunting her. We're just like, well, yeah, now we know. Now we don't need to have a character development throughout the rest of the series because we've already had that at the very beginning. So would that something like be that, or would you agree to that, or what?
I don't think the pacing is off.
Because it comes pretty early in the game, right?
It's a game, so it takes a while, but it like, if you're looking at the whole scope, if we're going 7 episodes, so if they do 7 more next time, 14 episodes, this would, I guess, fit around that mark. And I don't think it's just the added, it's the inconsistencies of what they're trying to do with it. It's like we have a random go off and scavenging. It's like they have this idea of where they're getting to, but there's no road leading to it. We're just skipping to the Joel part without having a path to it. There's no, like we have the therapy session with Joel and the lady from Home Alone, and then
that scene's even worse now.
Yeah, it's like there's no point to it. Like where
it's just like there to give Joel a bigger body count is what I got out of it. It's like because they mentioned that he killed her husband, he killed the pot guy. So it's like, make sure he killed a lot of people so, we can kill him off or something like that.
I saw one criticism of it, and it made me laugh, is that Joel took out the entire base of Fireflies last season, but lost his 5 Gen Zers.
That was a weird part, because when he's confronting them, or when they're confronting him, and he's like, and she's like, "What do you see when you look at us?" He should have said kids. I see kids.
Yeah.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
Guy.
That's the thing, is that in the game, they're all very threatening, and because they look like they've been living off the land like a survivors, right? But then I saw the snippets and stuff from this scene. I'm just like, they look 15, 16 years old, maybe.
Especially the medic one. I'm like,
yeah, she looks super young.
Yeah.
I also didn't really like when Abby called him handsome. That was a little awkward. It was
I don't know why they added that in this. It's like, you had the identifiers. You don't need this goofy, weird line.
What in my head was like, what were these nurses telling people, that he was the sexy guy?
I know. It's
you came in here and started shooting things up. I was like, what?
That guy was freaking awesome.
When you set that guy on fire, I was like, man, he is hot.
But yeah, so I feel like it's disappointing on the whole of what it could have been, and compared to the game, it's not even holding a candle to it. Like how the game leads up to that and how it handles it. Even with, I mean, it was pretty faithful with Ellie, Abby, and Joel. There are 3 points where Ellie comes in, she is held to the ground, she has to watch him die. But it's like, it just, everything leading up to it just felt so jumpy is the only way I could describe it. I don't know. There's just so little focus on what's actually going on and what matters in the show, rather than we're just looking at random junk and giant bloaters. And we have to talk about the stupid scene where the what's the big one called? I can't even think of it right now. Bloater. Yeah, I don't know. I literally just said that.
You just said that.
I just said that. I know. Whenever,
well, I was just like, you said it though.
Whenever it comes in, and then first of all, their fire defense was the worst planned thing I've ever seen in my life. They
Yeah.
have them ran, and then those flamethrowers, normally flamethrowers go like 20, 30, 40 feet. They're like 5 feet. I was like, why is this your plan to hold a wall of 5-foot flame? But what killed me was whenever the stupid bloater, and this reminded me so much of a Rings of Power kind of scene or something. Whenever he sees Tommy's wife, the bloater, he's like, oh yeah, you're shooting people more than everyone else, I'm gonna come here. And then he goes and stands in front of all these infected running past him, and he's like, no, you follow me. I'm like, what is this garbage? That is so lame.
So
like he would be bitten by 12 people. Yeah.
There was so much problem. Joel's brother and Joel's communist wife, or brother's communist wife, they just stand in the middle of the street and the guys ignore them. They just like run past them.
Like that is so amateur CW kind of stuff, man. Like like we just talked about Sinners. The last scene that you said you didn't like, Joseph, was another big problem with this, where he just is getting rain bullets at him, but he's just, I was like, oh, he must be far away. No, he's just like right next to the car. I'm like, no, they're just all missing. I'm like, what is with this lazy action writing? Just because you want to have a piece happen, you got to actually think it through and not have it so unbelievable. It was so unbelievable.
When he runs into that alley, it's just so like a video game block off of the like
you lived here for
Loading next area.
At least 5 years they lived there. I think he probably knows the place pretty well. And like, if like, oh, when did these stack of boxes get here? Did I not help move these? Yeah, I don't know.
Also, the part where like he's going to like finish up Tommy off, I was like, he's burned to death. He's gonna fall over.
Yeah,
I was like, there's no tension here.
I did not believe at all that this town survived this attack. I mean, the big thing was they unleashed dogs. Ooh.
The dogs did more than anyone.
These are vicious. Oh man. So yeah, so just cut all of that out. Literally the entire fight. Take that out of the episode. It didn't need to be there. It was a waste of time. Visually cool, sure, but waste of time. But I do want to shout out the there's one thing that I really wanted to shout out. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Don't remember what it was. Anyway, but the performances of Abby, Ellie, and Joel, with Ellie being this version of Ellie, not the snarky pal around with people Ellie. Like this version, I thought she did a great job. Peter Pascal did a great job. His looks, whenever he's like, because he knows what's coming, and that's very, very similar to the game where he's very quiet. He doesn't say a lot in it, and I like that so much. He's like, just get it over with. Like, I know what's coming. I've accepted it. I did what I did, and I stand by what I did. It's just it brings a lot of weight to it and everything. And then I think Caitlin Denver is the girl who plays Abby. She did a fantastic job. A couple weird lines, but that's not her fault. So yeah,
that was satisfying when Joel's like, just do it, just shut up and do it.
He's like, yeah, because it's like his last stand moment of like, I'm going to stand, even though I'm hated by the one that I did it for, I'm going to stand on it. And I'm like, oh man, that's
well, like heavy. Abby's giving like this classic villain monologue. She's like, and you know what else I'm going to do? He's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You clever dog. You got me monologuing.
I do wish he had a little more fight into him. It's just,
or like when like Ellie comes, he gets a little fight in him somehow.
But somehow, yeah. Yeah, he just, I don't know. The quietness kind of bothered me. I would be like yelling at them and stuff, like shut up, like you said. But
so,
yeah.
Okay, so I didn't watch this episode. I've just seen it going around online because like they killed Joel. I'm like, where have you been for the last 5 years? So, there's this one part where they did break from the game. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Is where the club breaks and then she like stabs Joel, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know who was in charge of that visual effect, but they should probably go over it again. Because when they do the stab, I swear to God, the arm kind of like disconnects from Abby's body and goes into Joel. I'm just like, no. That can't be right. And so I rewound it. I was just like, I don't think they finished this effect very well because it like the arm just goes like once, like not even a smooth motion. It's like it skipped right into Joel's neck. I was just like, that seems like a big miss on HBO's part. And
it did look weird because it didn't look like she went through. It just kind of looked like it stopped.
And it wasn't like, like she's meeting with some resistance like when she stabs somebody. It's like sword in the stone. It just went. I'm just like, oh no, that's a bad effect, guys. Like maybe they'll fix it in post like they did Game Cup, but it didn't look good.
So there's a lot of stuff where I was like, there's some interesting ideas here that I kind of wish they went with. Like you said, I think you said, the way he rescues Abby. I'm like, what if like her team gets wiped out, so she has to kind of rely on these people, so she gets like taken into the town, but the whole time she's kind of like planning, how am I going to kill this guy when I'm alone in this town? I mean, they could have built a whole season like that. um, you know
Those are
what?
kind of interesting.
Yeah, what if like the Fireflies? What if they were all kind of like victims of Joel somehow? They all knew someone, or all their parents got killed by him, or something like that. So, maybe that would have been more like a revenge squad. Or
The
something
Orphans
like,
of Joel.
yeah.
I
And
do
like
hope
I
the
said-
next part is just from Abby's point of view, and it's just like Ellie is like a Jason like Voorhees type, just like a villain just coming after her. Just
I don't know. I don't want to watch the Ellie revenge tour. I mean,
That's
It
this
just
whole
doesn't-
season. That's all you're getting.
it doesn't interest me at all, especially the way Ellie's portrayed in this.
Yeah.
She's just a very unlikable.
although I
person.
do hope one thing they keep from the game is the character gets punched. It is so freaking funny in that game.
Right into the garage door.
Right into the
I don't
dude, like
remember that.
an adult man, Superman punches his child into a garage door. It's the funniest thing on earth.
No, I hope they keep that. I want to see that.
It's so out of nowhere too, and like uncompromisingly violent. You're just like, whoa.
Because it's like in this dramatic scene, and then just bam, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, maybe if this. I mean, we got almost 2 seasons of the Ellie Revenge
Yep.
tour coming. up.
Get ready for the emotions and the talking.
Do you think that they're going to do a new story in season 3, or do you think
No.
they'll finish up?
This will be half of
Yeah.
the game. They've already they've already said enough of that. This will end at half of the game.
This long?
You know
I mean,
where
there's
it's
a
going to
lot.
end.
There's a lot to put in here. Yeah, I know exactly where this is going to end. But there's a lot. But that's what's so weird is because the whole point of the second game is learning about Abby and her people,
Abby.
and that's the big turning point of that. Why a lot of people hate this game, and because you don't know anything about that, and so you're 100% like go, and then you hit this middle point. You're like, oh, is the game over? The game's not over. What's going on? And so and I'm just like. I don't know how they're going to do the second half or season 3. I don't understand their pacing of how that's going to work, but we'll see. But
Maybe they'll age them up with like new actors.
they just CG their heads on bigger bodies and it's just Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Maybe Joel will get infected by fungus, like his dead body, and then he comes back and he's just like killing everything.
Well, that's another thing I have to bring up is like they play up this whole like infected in the sewer lines. Like
Oh yeah.
we're leaving Jackson unless we're going to stick around Jackson in like snippets of episodes, but we're leaving Jackson. That whole season or scenario is done. So I'm like,
Yeah,
what was the
that-
point of that?
That was weird. Then,
So I'm
like I said, that town should be erased.
Yeah,
there
true.
should be nowhere there left.
So I don't know if that was just like, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't get it. We'll see. But so far, it's good. Fine.
It's good. Fine.
That's about it.
Good fun stuff.
Good. Fine.
Maybe they'll have some twists and turns for us. Like Jared said, zombie Joel.
Zombie. That's what my coworker, he came in today and he was like, is he done? Is he gone? I was like, he's gone. He's like, what? He was like, man.
I actually thought of a story a long time ago about like a zombified dad, but he still like has feelings for his daughter. Like he's a total zombie, but he still like protects his daughter.
So it's
or
like
something.
she's at school getting bullied and a zombie comes out and knocking out kids.
Oh, there was a wink and a nod to the whole sandwich part of
Oh, yeah.
Last of Us. You know how she says biggest sandwich in the game? You know, fans really stuck to that. I guess not really fans, but like people who make like criticize the games
I don't even remember
really
the
stuck
biggest
on
sandwich.
that. So
There was some sandwiches.
Oh, bigot sandwich. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
big. I thought you said biggest.
Biggest.
Oh,
yeah,
I was
just
like, really big sandwiches. I don't know about that.
yeah, I was
clean
just
your
like,
ears out, gentlemen.
Oh
Hey.
man.
Moving on. What are we going to talk about next? Our homework?
That
You
it?
want to talk about
The Pope died.
Lazarus?
If you want to talk about that.
I didn't watch any of Lazarus. I meant to.
No.
I
Didn't watch it.
I did watch Vigilante episode 2.
I did too. I liked it.
I did too.
I liked it better than the
did like it
first
a lot
one.
better. Eraserhead's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I like how he has a little bag of groceries. He's like, "Oh, you're not a bad guy, never mind." But
My day off. Lazarus, I've seen 2 episodes. How many have you seen, Jared?
2.
Okay. We could talk about it next time. Anime, any other anime?
I continued Frieren because of that. I sent you guys that post of like top animes of the year, and there's like,
Yeah, man, people love it.
I've only missed Frieren and then the other one, so I'm gonna try and watch both of those to catch
It
up.
was number 1 on Mel for like 2 years or a year or something like
Jeez.
that.
Man, so I jumped, but I realized halfway through the episode, I was like, this is the exact episode I left on, so I've already seen this one. But it's like it's kind of perfect because it kind of caught me up of where because it was at the end of that arc that I was talking about that got really, really cool. And so now they're moving on to another journey. So I will probably finish it for next time.
I watched this anime called Catch Me at the Ballpark. So it's just little stories about people who work at the ballpark.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, there's like these little beer girls that run around with kegs on their backs.
It's not appropriate.
And they were, and there's this what do you call him? This businessman, and he's like all depressed, and his only good time is going to this ballpark, and he meets one of the beer can girls, and she's like crazy, and he becomes her regular customer, and then we follow other people. I think
Peanuts guy? Peanuts?
No, I don't. No, there's like a chicken girl who makes like fried chicken, and
Baseball's
and then-
weird in Japan.
it's different. And then the funniest episode, I think, was 3. One of the baseball players is American, and he like came to Japan because he wasn't making it in the major leagues. So he kind of hates it there. He's like, "Oh, I just want to get back to the majors."
Does he have a cowboy hat and like?
No.
Stereotypical outfit.
But the show is subbed right now. It's not dubbed, but so when he talks, it's English, so it's that funny. Oh, he's talking English. So the funny part with him is when he's at bat, he's just like super focused, but then he sees one of the beer can girls, and he's like, beautiful, and they like strike him out, and so he can't like concentrate at the game at all because he's looking at this girl. And then the other funny part was the mascot for the team. He just like goes around giving people wisdom with his little whiteboard that he writes on. It's real cute show.
For the anime podcast, Jonah recommended a show. He's never seen it, and we all wanted to watch it because we heard good things. It's Sunny Boy, and we're really surprised by this. We'll probably listen to it on our podcast, but the music in it really good. There's a bunch of like indie like math rock in it for some reason. It seemed like a successor to like Fully Cooley season 1, because you know how like progressive and alternative sucks so bad.
Yeah,
this seemed like the successor to it. It's kind of like a
true
coming
successor.
of age. Yeah, but I really liked it.
All right, anime's over.
Yeah, I don't think I watched any others.
Okay, so let's get into. Did anyone do any other stuff? Thomas, what'd you do?
Okay.
Yeah, what'd you do, Thomas? Huh? He yelled
Please
at
don't
me.
know.
It sounded accusatory. Like, what'd you do, man?
Where were you on the night of?
I watched The Pit with Noah Wiley. It's that medical drama.
Oh yeah, I heard of that.
On HBO.
The one that the lady that lost her memory. Or is
No,
that a different show?
that's a different. That's like
What is that show called?
I almost said The Good Doctor, but that's a different one.
Yeah.
That's the one
No.
with the kid from
Yeah.
Bates Motel, and he's like, "I'm
Yeah.
a surgeon,
I'm a surgeon.
Doctor Hahn."
I'm a surgeon.
Ben
no,
loves
this
that show.
This one's about the emergency room in Pittsburgh. They call it The Pit. And it's the whole series takes place over one 12-hour shift. So each hour is an hour in real time, kind of like
Beep, boop.
24.
Beep boop.
Yeah.
Beep boop.
Well, what's funny is that Michael Crichton's estate is suing this show because it has Noah Wiley and it's ER. They think it's ER.
What?
But then but then they also like stole something from 24. I'm just like, I mean,
that guy can't act as a doctor anymore.
yeah. It is very good, very well acted. You see everything because it's HBO, and I mean you see everything,
Everything,
and you
man.
you do not
Colonoscopies.
you see a baby being born, and you're just like, oh,
It's crowning.
yeah, no, yes, that happens, and you're just like, because you're like, because normally I could.
I just pictured Thomas with his wife one day, just like, oh,
God.
Well,
What about-
normally, like in a medical show, you see like the doctor and like, oh, here he is. No, like the doctor's like there, and then it cuts to it. And you're like, So that happens. It very well acted, but it's so cringy sometimes though, because they have some like really like you can tell when it was like they try to insert stuff. Like they're like, oh, we just have to deal with these kids all the time. They have like just toxic masculinity. It's because of these podcasts. I'm just like, that was the most unnatural line I have ever heard in my life.
Maybe
It's
laughter
so-
is the best medicine after all. They just look at the camera.
Yeah. And there's this one part, mild spoilers, but who cares? So they have this one guy who is like this incel character.
Oh
And-
my goodness.
Like they even call him incel kid. I'm just like, seems a bit on the nose,
On the
but all right.
nose,
Judgy.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so like he obviously has like issues with women because of his mom. They could go into that. I'm like, that's kind of interesting, get that. But the solution is to literally lock him in a room, basically force him into medical like holding, and then have a woman shout at him. I'm just like, this is not helping. This is not helping at all. And by the end of it, it's
That's
like, you're
gonna
right.
traumatize you.
Yeah. But the end, he's like, you're right. I should listen to women more. I'm just like, that would never
This
happen.
was some writer's fantasy or something.
Yes, exactly. I was just like,
Just
this
yell
kid.
at me.
It's like this kid is gone now. Like you have officially like,
that
like-
guy's a serial killer now.
It's a
yeah,
kid
pretty
off
much.
of adolescence.
What was that
Yeah.
video where
Jamie.
Jamie.
the video where the monsters like music video where the monsters like screaming at the guy, just put a wig on it.
Yeah. It was just, I was just like, this is not what you should be doing to a mentally unhinged kid.
No.
But they also have like this one part because there's like an active shooter. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. You get to see like a real time what an emergency room would deal with. So they say, but it keeps going on for like 3 episodes. I was like, how many people are getting shot? And they're like, we had 118 casualties. I was like, what the? I'm like, that would be the biggest shooting since like Las Vegas. Are you
Send in
kidding
the
me?
army. Send in the
Yeah.
army.
Well, and they have like all these people like walking in. I'm like, no. This whole thing would be like locked down. Like you would have FBI everywhere. And then they're like, oh no, we're just going back to normal. I'm just like, no, you would not. This whole area would be a crime scene. You would have people going through these bodies. Like, I was just like, someone didn't watch like anything regarding legal part. I was just like, oh my God. Because they're like mopping up blood and everything else. I was like, that's evidence. Stop. Stop it. And so it's just again, the acting is really good at parts, but at some parts you just like they jump a shark and you're just like, what's going on now? So I do recommend watching it because it does take some twists and turns. Like, oh, it's kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. But again, it has really high highs, really low lows. So just go into that with a grain of salt. That whole thing made me want to watch ER. I'm on season 4 of ER.
Damn.
But George Clooney.
He is very charming in that, but you know what? Anthony Edwards is my guy. It's Goose. Like just right here, man. A nerdy balding dude can bang a lot of women. There's hope for us. There's hope for us.
It's Hollywood, Thomas.
Dang it.
It's all fake.
And Jared, he gets like he gets a 5'2" Latin girl. I'm just like, dang, Anthony Edwards, good on you.
The dream.
But I know it's like anyway. So that's kind of like the TV shows I watched, and then I watched this guy called Elliot Roberts. I think I mentioned it before. He does he's like obsessed with like music from the 60s and 70s. He did that one of like Paul McCartney's like best or worst to best albums. Very interesting for like Wings. Just Paul McCartney, not the Beatles. But he did one on A Complete Unknown about the Bob Dylan movie. And he's like, I really like this, but it's kind of like a companion piece to I'm Not There. Because like I'm Not This kind of like an avant-garde, like indie like art movie, and this one's more of like a straight biotopic. He's like, honestly, if you wanted to watch both back to back, it would really complement each other because you would get kind of like the straight-laced facts about Bob Dylan, and then you would have like what Bob Dylan was kind of like going through at the times in his psyche. I'm like, that's kind of interesting way to put that. And then so that's YouTube, and so more YouTube. I watched this other guy called Angry Cops. He's on he's on like the Unsubscribed podcast. He's not really a gun tuber, but he's like he's not even ex, he's still in the army. He's like a drill sergeant. He's also a cop in New York. But he bought a crack house in the hood and he is restoring it. He has a whole series called This Old Crack House. And it's literally like 50 episodes long. Like it's a very long YouTube like series, and like he just updated it, and it looks so much because I first saw the newest video. I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this old stuff. And then I go back to the first episode. I'm like, oh my god, it was a hoarder's den. Disgust. He had to pay a clean out crew like $6,000 just to like come in and get all the crap out. It was like disgusting.
But he's that supermarket.
No.
Today
but
we're doing the crown molding on the crack house.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He's like, look at this brand new door at the crack house. And so, but like this has been going on since like 2020. So like during peak COVID, he got doxxed by BLM and people that came to his like that house and tried to burn it down. He's like, who does that? Like, what is that about? So it's kind of crazy, but it's fun because he found this like picture in the basement randomly. It's just Jesus. Like it's just a painting of Jesus. And so he has this picture throughout the entire Crack House series called Basement Jesus. And he's even printed t-shirts that says Basement Jesus approves. I'm like, I would buy that, but I would get some really weird looks.
What would Basement Jesus do?
Yeah. So and like at the end of every video, he's like, all right, guys, time to go to confessional. So he sits down with the picture of Basement Jesus. It's just like a summary of the whole video. It's really like for each video, it's really good. And then it was Passover this last week. So I had to do my annual watch of the two greatest Passover. Yes, that too. But I had to watch the two greatest movies about Passover. Watch 10 Commandments with Charlton Heston, and then what else, Jared?
Prince of Egypt. I forgot to watch that.
There you go.
I love that movie.
It's so good. Got mad at IGN because on Passover they called 10 Commandments an antiquated piece of crap. I'm just like, not the right message you're sending on Passover, IGN. And that's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I love both those movies for different reasons.
A golden bull.
Yeah. They're fun. So especially Prince of Egypt, right? Great workout music. So
dude, sometimes you just gotta put that on to get that bar going, because let my people go, you know what I'm saying?
How have you come to hate me so?
Playing with the big boys now, that's when you're looking with the bros.
No, that's it's Steve Martin and Martin Short, Michael, as the priests. So
I haven't seen that movie in probably 15 years.
Voldemort is the Pharaoh.
Yeah,
That's true.
I remember that. It's a great movie.
Val Kilmer is Moses.
Apparently, my nephews watched that this weekend for the first time, though.
Really?
Yeah, they were talking about it
movie.
on
You
Easter.
like it?
I think so.
Then you just like wait till you see El Dorado.
Nothing.
Oh no, we all knew what you were talking about. And then I completely forgot to mention when I was on last time, I did finish Maroon 5.
Finally.
So, yeah.
Want to hear what's going on with this
so
last one?
the last one was Jordy. Not not a bad one, like at all. Way better than V. V was pretty. It wasn't horrible. It just wasn't very good. This one is a little better than that. Nothing stood out though. Again, that's my main complaint about these later Maroon 5 albums. There's not like any standout like song that I like. Yeah, I could listen to that again. It's just like I think I'm done with the album already. Really, they all sounded the same. So, I mean, it was okay, not horrible. If I had to listen to it again, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But I'm not going to actively listen to it again. Kind of makes me sad that there are more not good Maroon 5 albums than there are good ones. Especially when those first two are just so freaking good.
You think the downfall is when he started getting all those tattoos?
I mean, yes, that is like the era where it started to go, but I think part of it is where they started playing too safe. Because like the first like two albums are kind of edgy, and they're like, they talk a lot, not just about sexy things, but just like, yeah, that's kind of pushing the envelope there, my guy. But
talking about drugs on Harder to Breathe, right, or something?
Yeah, while having sex,
live birth,
yeah,
crowning.
But shut up. But I don't know. It's just they lose like kind of their indie charm, I guess.
As most bands do.
Yeah, they just basically like evolved into a pop band. I'm just like, this isn't very good. So kind of disappointing.
Collaborating with Cardi B, and you're just like,
dude, like I tried listening to that collaboration album. Yeah, don't try. It's not very good.
Like you get popular. I don't understand.
I don't.
That's what a lot of people say. It's like, what? How did this?
I think she has dirt on people. I swear to God.
Probably.
But yeah, it's kind of disappointing. So, not the highs and highs that we got with Nickelback, apparently, according to Michael.
Baby.
One album. That's it.
Didn't Cardi B
genius?
Didn't Cardi B win like best rap album one year, and everyone's like, "Well, how did this happen?"
Like her first year or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Beyonce winning best country album. Everybody's like,
"Hey, really? Some of those are kind of a bop. They're kind of like they got a beat. You're like, all right."
Yeah, but would you classify them as a country album?
I don't care about country.
Is there country anymore?
Oh, dude, I was at the doctor today for my annual. And this girl, the X-ray technician, was listening to country, and it had like a hip hop beat that that classic like drum sample beat. I was like, what? Why even make country? Just
that's what it is now.
It's the worst of both worlds. I was so confused.
But yeah, I can say I listened to all Maroon 5 now. Kind of disappointing, but I did it. So
we still have those first two.
That's the thing, is that I am glad for the experience, because I did get to listen to those two albums like fully through again. I'm like, damn, these are so good. Like, these are so good. What happened? I don't know. I'm thinking about doing Bob Dylan, but I'm like, that's a big challenge. But I will say it does change up a lot. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, that's all I got. Who's next?
We'll throw it out there. Okay. I did very little. Speaking of albums, though, Peter Capaldi, who played the 12th, 13th, depending on what rules you follow, Doctor, he made.
Do you count the War Doctor as a number? There
are even more after that they reveal were past Doctors that we didn't know about. So I've lost track now.
A million.
So what's the point of numbering them?
Because they had the rule, then they had to break the rule. Otherwise, the show would have had to end. So because there were only supposed to be 12 or 13. There was only supposed to be 12, I think. And then that was all you can like rejoin. Anyway, he made an album, and I was like, I know I'm not gonna like this out. Yeah, it came out like this year, and I was like, I know I'm not gonna like this album. And I went and I did not like this album. He's a very interesting person, and he has a strange, because in his Doctor Who seasons he brought a lot of that. He would play guitar as the Doctor and do stuff like that. But it was very weird. It was like It's kind of like oh Lord, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The musician that passed away,
Bowie?
Bowie. There you go, David Bowie. It has that kind of weird tone to it, but it's also it's just unbelievably repetitive and stuff like that. And so it wasn't for me, unfortunately. But I like that he made an album, though. That made me happy. And hopefully hopefully other people will enjoy it. It just wasn't for me. And then there's this band called Manskin that I don't know what ethnicity they are. they have a Europeanish accent of some sort. I don't know. I'm bad with accents, but they've had a lot of albums, and there's this one out, their most recent album, which I thought was their most recent album, 2023, has a very similar cover to another album they released that exact same year. But I would have it on shuffle, and then a song come on and be like, that's that album, but why are there more people on the cover? Is that like just a bonus version? It's a whole different album I never listened to. I like the band a lot, and I listened to the whole album. Album's freaking great. I was like, what the heck? So there's a whole other album of theirs that I didn't get
How
to
did
see.
you find this band? This man.
I have no idea. They have a couple songs you will recognize. I don't know if it has an accent over one of the letters. I don't know exactly how I might be pronouncing it wrong. It looks like Manskin though.
Monskin.
But there's definitely there's probably at least one song you would recognize. But I like them a lot.
Was it really big a couple years ago?
That's probably when I found them. Yeah. So maybe.
Okay. Are they Swedish?
Sure. I don't know. I have no idea. I never look in. That's one thing I'm bad about. I never look into bands of like their origin or what they do or where they came from, how they got there. Never do it.
Looks
No
looks
idea.
like they are Italian.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I know who that is.
Yeah.
You should listen to their
Yeah.
newest album. It's fun. They have some songs I'm like, I don't like this, but it's most of them I liked a lot. I think it's all different music. I did listen to the because I said last time the Blue Stones album and the Rushmore Mumford & Sons album had just come out, so I didn't get a big taste on them, but both of them have grown a lot on me. I had them both on repeat for a while, so both really good albums. Show wise, I only watched that 70 show, I think, because I was busy this week. We did a lot of family stuff, but I'm on season 6.
Oh, okay. Has anybody left?
Red had a heart attack at the end of season 5, and so Eric and Donna were supposed to go to college. They did not go to college. Or Donna did. Eric did not. No, Donna did not, because she was going to get on the bus, and then she wasn't on the bus at the end of that season, and then they stayed there. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Hyde and Jack have gotten separated back together like 12 times, and then Michael's just desperate for anyone. And then, man, we got to talk about Kelso's girlfriend, Nina. This woman is just an angel. She man, I'm like all these people, and then there's this Nina chick, and she comes in the show, and then she's out of the show now, and I'm very, very sad because I'm like, I want more Nina in the show, because I'm like, yes, Fez, you got the golden ticket right there. I was very sad, but she's gone now. But yeah, so I'm in season 6. 2 more this season. No, I guess there's 8 seasons. Jesus, so 3. Goodness, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
I like every week we come back to that 70s show. Michael's hair is like longer. He's like got like tie dye on.
Just the smoke's going in the background. No. And then I didn't watch any movies. I did finish the 7th draft of my book. Clap, clap, clap. So I have Alex's book club reading it, and then a couple other people, and then I'm going to do one more draft of the feedback on that, and I'm done. That's it. So that is almost done, but I probably won't be done for a while because I'm still waiting on them to finish. And then I did finish Brandon Sanderson's lecture series is now over this week. So his final one was mostly just a Q&A of like people asking questions, mostly about like, becoming an author, beginning that journey, or like that. But he ended it on a really cool note because he's like, I want to be realistic with you, but I want to crush your dreams. And so he's like, gives this whole speech and ended it really well. So yeah, very, very good. It's only probably 8 or 9 lectures, something like that. So easily digestible. Very good lecture series, though. Definitely recommend it. Just an extraordinarily, like I've said a million times, very knowledgeable. And I don't understand how he's that knowledgeable. It's just every time he has a question, I'm like, you have the answer, like the textbooks is in your head. I don't get it. Anyway, that's all I did.
Okay. I'll start with music. So I continued with Beck's albums. It's been a long go because Beck is not an art. I like some of his stuff, but he's not an artist that I just want to keep coming back to. So I continued with Modern Guilt, 2008. This one was cool. It sounded like a 70s album, kind of like a classic album, and it was really good. I liked it a lot. But then he does this. He does one for me, one for him. He did Morning Phase after that. The most boring album I've ever listened to. I was just like, God, just end. It was so slow. It was so folky. I was like, God, dude, this is terrible. But then he did Colors after that, 2017. His best album by far. It's so good. And then the album after that this is the reason I wanted to listen to Beck, because it just looked like something I wanted to listen to. It's got like Japanese letters on the front, and like kanji and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. And it looks like an electronic album. It wasn't. It sounded like he went Coldplay. I was like, what are you doing, Beck? What are you doing, man? So I finished finally with Beck. I have no idea where I'm gonna go after this.
Imagine Dragons.
No, that's only if we get to a certain number. But I had an idea. Oh, I was gonna go. I listened to Asian Kung Fu Generation. So like the second opening of Naruto, the guys that did the openings for Erased. They do a lot of anime openings. They're really good. They're just like solid rock band from Japan that I'm probably gonna go through. But they have so many albums. I don't know. The only other thing I listen to is, how I listen to I've been a fan of Tool, and I listened to all of Tool not too long ago. And I've known of the main singer's other bands. I've never been really interested in them. Perfect Circle. So I was like, I'll listen to the first album. But I didn't have much like hopes for it, or like I had no interest in it. It was okay. Definitely not as good as Tool. It's a little more like gothic sounding to me. It just sounds a little like edgier, I guess. But yeah, still not for me. I don't know if I'm gonna continue with the Perfect Circle, but there were some good songs on there, definitely. Just I don't know, it just doesn't have that Tool thing that I need.
Wait, are you listening to Perfect Circle's like discography?
I just listened to the first album.
Oh, okay.
Because I've only listened to like their singles, so
I just know Judith. That's about the only one I know.
nah, this is the one with Judith on it. But yeah, it's not bad. It's just not for me. Show wise, I think we already went through all of it. Lazarus, yeah. Oh no. So I finally watched. I don't know if Thomas ever watched this, but Common Side Effects.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I haven't watched the rest of it yet, though.
This turned out to be really good. I bet you'll like it too. It is just kind of just an adventure. All the characters are super likable. One of the main characters is voiced by what is that guy? King of the Hill. He did
Mike Judge.
Mike Judge.
Is this basically Hank Hill?
Yeah, I was like, this is just Hank Hill, but as a
pharmaceutical rep. Well, he does like, oh god dang it, I gotta call him around again. It's like, just put it off till tomorrow. I'm just like, Hank.
He's awesome in it. There's only one character I dislike. I'm not gonna say who until Thomas watches it, but all the characters are likable, especially those 2 FBI agents.
The two agents, man, they're so good.
They have like one of the most like not heartwarming, but just like compelling friendship in like a show. And I'm just like, man, that was really good.
You think are you here to discuss the map? No.
That was funny. He was trying to like
figure out where they're gonna go.
He was like pinning Waco with like the Oklahoma bombing and just trying to connect it. I was like, that's pretty fun.
I like the animation style so far too.
Yeah, I really like it. It's like purposely like
ugly, but not super. It's like kind of beautiful,
minimal.
Too. Yeah. It kind of reminds me of like, when Adventure Time would be like purposely ugly but look awesome at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that, but I don't know. It's very unique. It's almost like he mixed in a little bit of home movies with it too. So
very Adult Swim like
Mm-hmm.
production.
It's good
But
charm
yeah,
to that.
just it's just about this guy who he's I don't know what he does. He's just really smart. Like he figured out how to win the lottery just off of like the UPCs and stuff like that. And then he went
Can do
to Peru
that.
and he found this mushroom, which is like this fabled mushroom that is supposed to heal like any disease or like just anything.
And
And
death.
so he wants to learn how to grow it for the betterment of humankind. But he reconnects with his old classmate, and she works for that pharmaceutical company, and she wants to use it for, wealth and stuff like that. And so it's just a really good story. I think I would definitely recommend it to both of you. I think everyone would like it, especially since Hank Hill is in it. So it's so funny. He's so funny. I love him.
So, pills and pills accessories.
That's all the shows I watched, and then I finally watched the movie Cure 1997. See what this director's name is,
Who's in it?
by Yoshi Kurosawa. Who's in it?
Yeah.
I don't know any of these actors, to be honest. I'm not
What's it
sure.
about?
I'm trying to like.
So it's
This
about a
sounds so
detective.
familiar.
Yeah.
It's about a detective. I watched it because I've seen a lot of recommendations about it being like the most horrific non-horror movie. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And it's just like one of the best like well-made movies, people say. So I was really interested.
Oh, yeah, it's the guy from Tampopo and Shall We Dance and 13 Assassins. So, good actor.
What it's about is a detective. He just gets this case where there's been a few bodies found where there's an X just cut into people's throat, like this area. And they have this suspect that has amnesia. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't like know anything like recently. And they're trying to figure out how he did it, why he did it, but he's just so uncooperative. And so this guy is just everything like on that is the detective has his home life, like with his wife. She's going through mental stuff. And so he's having a bad time with like work and then his home life. And so I don't want to give too much away because kind of the whole point, but it's just about this case and how him dealing with it. But yeah, it was really well made. Kind of one of those movies that it's kind of open to interpretation. It's not a straightforward answer of like what it's about and stuff like that. So it is really good. I would recommend it. Definitely really well made, and it's a movie that really makes you think. It's one of those thinkers. But
Where'd you watch it on?
I rented it from YouTube. I couldn't find it on
Okay.
anything, so I just rented it. It was like $2.99. The only other thing was, I think I talked about it on here, is remember when I watched Bartender, the anime? They made a drink called a gin fizz in there, and I've been like wanting to order one for the longest time, for like a year now, but no one makes it because it has like egg whites in it, and you can't just like serve raw egg whites in a drink in like at a bar for health reasons. So I was like, I'll just make my own. So for my birthday, I went out and got this stuff. I even bought a shaker. I was like, you never know when you need that. And I made it, and it was delicious. I was like, how does not everywhere serve this? And then I
Is
was
it
like,
salmonella?
and then but fair. Then there's one called a Royal Fizz where they uses the yolk. So I was like, I don't want to waste the whole egg. Those are expensive. So I made the royal version too, and it was delicious too. So yeah, I finally had it, and glad I tried it. But that's all for me this time.
Egg creams don't have egg in them.
It's a lie. This was true.
What does that mean?
What? Egg
What,
creams.
what does that mean? Does it have egg? Is egg cream? Does it have eggs?
There's-
It's
has
a
cream,
chocolate drink.
What is it?
It's chocolate.
soda, and chocolate syrup.
Why are we calling it egg
That's
drink?
it.
All right, my turn.
Mhm.
I tried to watch Alex Cross on Amazon because I like the Morgan Freeman version of Alex Cross, but this one I couldn't get through it. They're like trying to defend BLM, and I'm like, I'm out. The whole every like conversation was about race and racism and stuff. It's like I can't do that. I just want to watch a guy solve murder mysteries.
What is that? Do they have a show, Alex Cross?
Yeah, it's a show.
Okay, not the Tyler Perry Alex
No,
Cross,
I haven't
right?
seen that
Okay.
one.
That's one. I thought it was like a comedy or something
That's
that he did. It was like,
Medea
oh
goes
no,
to Alex Cross,
yeah.
Thomas.
But yeah, it's like
like-
a full Alex Cross movie. Yeah. So movies. I did my 3 movies, and the theme was neo noir or whatever Wikipedia calls neo noir. So, because it's kind of a broad thing. I'll go backwards. So the first one was 1997, The Spanish Prisoner. So this has Steve Martin in a rare dramatic role. And it's about this guy who invents this process. I don't really tell you what it is. He just invents something, right? And everyone thinks, that's Nito Torpedo. So
Do they say that? Do they say that?
that? I wish. No, because the director. Oh, try to pull it.
The director said
David-
no, say Needle Torpedo.
Well, his name is David Mamet, so he's most known for The Untouchables, and he directed he's a playwright, and he did Glenn Ross, which I reviewed last year. And his characters, especially one character in the movie, they talk like they're on a stage and it's like a play. So this movie was pretty enjoyable. It's pretty much about trying to get this process from this guy, and there's a lot of twists and turns. It's very Hitchcockian. It just seems like a movie Hitchcock would have made. It was pretty enjoyable. Campbell Scott, who's the main, kind of talks like Steve Martin. And Steve Martin's good in it. He's not like funny or anything, but he's you don't really see him like that all the time. Who else was in it? Oh, the guy who played Al Bundy. So Michael would know him as the old guy on Modern Family, the matriarch.
Yeah.
So he always plays an agent in movies. Because I know him as Al Bundy, and then when he's in movies, he's always an agent or something. So yeah, that was a good one. The next one, okay, was well, I should have put the directors. I like to tell the directors. But it was To Live and Die in LA. So this was like the most 80s movie, most 80s action and movie ever. The director was William Friedkin, so he directed like The French Connection and The Exorcist. A ton of good movies he's just directed. So this stars the guy from CSI, and he's going to take down a very young Willem Dafoe. I mean, this is baby face Willem Dafoe. He looks like a preppy kid in some prep kid school, like preppy rich kid. And Willem Dafoe is like the world's greatest counterfeiter. So he's like making this funny money, selling around town. And it's just like, it's 80s action. People are getting blown away. There's nudity everywhere. Male nudity, if you're into that.
That floats your boat.
The guy's partner, 2 days away from retirement, guys. He even says the line, "I'm too old for this, stuff." He gets killed.
But he didn't say stuff.
Yeah, he didn't say stuff. He gets killed.
No, he had 2
Aw.
days.
He had 2 days, guys. He gets killed brutally. I mean, this is like RoboCop level violence. And of course, this guy, known for the French Connection, which has one of the greatest car scene or chase scenes. This one, it's like the French Connection on the West Coast because they're like going through trains and they're going through the freeway, LA freeway. They ended that famous ditch they have in LA. So it was like crazy. I was like, this is an awesome chase scene.
I don't think I've ever
Um,
seen young Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. It's pretty weird. Of course, he gets naked too. It still
Naturally.
no, it still looks like old Willem Dafoe naked body, but it's young Willem Dafoe naked. It was weird.
He somehow looks 60 and 12 at the same time.
A very young John Turturro's in it.
Does he get naked too?
He does not get naked.
Oh,
He, I think that's it. Who's in it? They're USA or what do you call them? U.S. Secret Service doing their other job, so fighting counterfeiters. Um, so yeah, if you like 80s action, crazy action, you probably like that one. And then the next one, pull this up real fast. Totally different kind of movie. Capricorn 1 from 1977. So this one stars Josh Brolin's dad and O.J. Simpson, and so what this one's is about was they're gonna have this mission to Mars, right? These astronauts are gonna go to Mars, but then right when they're about to take off, this guy comes in. He's like, "Get out of the rocket ship! Get out of the rocket ship!" And they're like, "What the heck's going on?" He's like, "Just get out." So they get out of there and they fly him to some place on a plane. And they're telling, we kind of went cheap with the rocket. There was like, if you would have went up, it would have been blown up. You guys would all die. So instead, we're just gonna stage it. We're just gonna pretend you went because the president really wants us to get to Mars. So we're gonna stage it, and you guys are gonna stay down here for a while until you guys get back, and then you guys can go home. The astronauts don't like this idea, so they eventually escape from NASA, and then they go on into the desert and they wander around the desert trying to get home.
is this the one where they eat a snake?
Yes, there is a snake in it. I can't remember if they
Okay.
eat it. But Josh Brolin's dad like kills a snake. Meanwhile, there's this reporter, and he's onto it. He like figuring out something weird's gonna happen or something weird's going on. And yeah, it was a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the same movie I had a conversation about when I was a overnight security guard at Walmart, and this homeless guy talked to me about this movie for like an hour and a half,
Really.
and how it was based on real events because we never went to the moon. And I'm like, sir, please move your bike. You can't be here.
And he's like, "You're just blind, man. You're just..."
Yeah, pretty much. He's like, I was a servant of the man. And you're just holding him back. I'm just like, I mean, you're already homeless, man. Like, you can only go up from here. Like, yeah, very eventful night. So,
Yeah, so this guy also directed 2010, which is a sequel to 2001.
oh,
And
like
he
that one, actually.
directed Time Cop.
with Jean or
Jean-Claude
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, and the music was done by Jerry Goldsmith, so it was like very good. And you're like, oh.
What a nuanced piece of work.
Yeah, I know. But there was a weird part with this lady reporter, and she kept telling the guy, "You want to jump me? Do you want to jump me?" And I was like, "What? Why is that the only thing she says?"
Real
But yeah.
fast, I want to say, I like to watch these like pseudo lectures on YouTube about subjects. I watched a 3 or 4 hour one on the Fast and the Furious series because I've watched some of them. I don't want to watch them all, so I was like, might as well listen to what they're about, and it's good.
It's good.
Were they family in the end, Jared?
It's all about family.
Jared, watch them all next time.
No, I'm not gonna watch all of those.
A
I
lot of
watched 2
movies.
and 3. They'll suck.
Tokyo
Dude.
Drift.
when I was working at Alamo Draft House, they had that marathon of the Fast and Furious movies, like because when 10 was coming out, all 10 in a row.
Dang.
10 still pisses me off. It should be fasten your seatbelt.
Was Ben at all 10?
I didn't ask,
No.
but like only like 3 people made it all the way through.
Ben.
But I felt so sorry because there's only one waiter for that entire thing, and he had to stay there for all the entire showing.
Dang. I only seen the first 2.
The only good ones are 4 and 5.
I like 5. 5's fun.
5 is good.
Has that safe scene, which is pretty
Yeah, it's good.
awesome.
The rest are just goofy.
No theater stories this time?
No, really, no.
Oh, wait.
Ours is pretty normal.
Chicken jockey.
No, it wasn't. Okay, so ours was normal, but it was more enhanced, I will say, with the crowd that we had, because it was a very how do I put this? Ethnic,
Diverse?
Yes, a very diverse crowd, and I don't want to say it's a stereotype that certain people shout at the movie theater, but they did. But it made it better because it was a great like theater experience. Like when this one part happened, one guy went, "Oh," and it was.
Like-
It made me enjoy the movie more.
I feel like
So-
everybody was more sleepy though. Like normally it'd be because I love going when there's a bunch of black people in the theater. It's great because they're like so into it and everything like that. Like I remember, I think it was Endgame. We saw something. There was this black guy in the front row of us. He was so into it. I was like, yes, this is awesome. But I feel like everyone was sleepy during ours because it was 10:20, so it's pretty late.
Well, I also like how I tried to scoot around the fact, and Michael just said black
Yeah.
people.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
He's
not
gonna beat around the
afraid.
bush.
yeah, I'm not screwed because Alex said his was like that. He said he was awesome because they were so into it. But
I
They went
watched
earlier.
what was it, The Nun, with this like next to this black guy. It was so fun because we were like, what?
At mine, it randomly snowed in Albuquerque, so I keep
Randomly
bragging
snowed
about
here. Randomly snowed here 3 weeks ago. So I mean,
That was
Yeah,
nice.
so I got out. It was cold. I rolled down my window. It stopped because I was gonna throw like a fry out the window or something.
Your window stopped?
the window stopped.
My window, my car window
Oh,
stopped
okay.
mid roll. And I was like, God, I'm sorry I went to see this. Sinners movie."
I'm sorry about the music.
Was the fry that important to throw out? If you were cold, you hate cold. Why would
It
you roll
wasn't
down
even
the
a
window?
fry. It was just like a crumb, and I was just throwing it
Well,
out.
that was
Open
dumb. You deserve that. Why would
Yeah.
you open the door?
That's why God was punishing you.
I didn't know the window wasn't gonna stop.
Well, you should have.
So I had to drive and get a fuse because the fuse. went
Don't
off.
covet thy neighbor's fry.
So that's what happened. I was like, thank God it was only a fuse. All right. I think that's going to do it for this time. Throw us some likes so Jared has to watch or listen to Imagine Dragons.
Do that.
Ready
Also-
to
He also
wed
should
you.
listen to something. He always gets out of stuff.
Just true.
Just for us to watch all of Twilight.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And Harry Potter, just a whole.
What? Why not in a bowl?
At least Twilight's only 4 movies instead of 8.
Subscribe to us as well and notify yourself for even more good stuff. And we will catch you next time. Bye.